Humans are living longer than ever, and Dr. Ezekiel Emanuel has a problem with that. Emanuel, who advised the previous president on Obamacare, is part of the overachieving Emanuel family. He's brother to Chicago Mayor Rahm and, of course, super agent Ari. He wrote an article in 2014 entitled, "Why I Hope to Die at 75." Now, a new article in Time magazine asks us all, why do we want to live so long? The author quotes Emanuel and Paul Wolpe, director of the Emory Center for Ethics. Wolpe thinks humans don't appreciate their own mortality. We don't understand it, he says. We don't get it, and as meaning-laden beings, we can't fathom what it means to not exist. Humans are laden with meaning. It's so inconvenient for people like Wolpe and Emanuel, who think of people as a unit of measurement, simply as bodies that consume government resources. To progressives, everything about a person, including how long they live, is the business of the government. Emanuel says he only wants to pursue life extension in a way that benefits everyone. He says the proportion of the population that dies before 75, that's the number we ought to be looking at and tracking. Emanuel says we want to get everyone to 75. What a wonderful view of the future of humanity. Get everyone to 75 and then let them die. That's the progressive view of life. Everyone living for the same length of time, tethered to the government from birth to death, living without the burden of being laden with those meddlesome things, risk, discomfort, and meaning. Malice, kind of philosophical there, right?
Yeah, I think this. I mean, they talk about Trump being literally Hitler. Talk about a slippery slope. When you start thinking about like deciding for other people you've lived long enough, in putting that out there, that is as sinister an idea as you can possibly put into the zeitgeist.
And you know what? When he did it in 2014, we covered it on this show.
Yeah.
Emanuel wrote the article and he said, I'm just talking about myself. I don't mean everybody. But, you know, of course, he was on the Obamacare. The death panels, that was kind of, he was part of that. And people made fun of the death panels, but don't we see that they were actually real?
Well, every hospital has death panels because at a certain point you have to decide, is the cost of keeping this person alive for much longer worth the price? Whether the price is emotional or the price is financial or the price is in something else. So death panels have always been real. Yep. And frankly, I think, you know, I'm not particularly pro-life in a religious sense, but I think when you're making decisions like this, it's very, very sick. And saying, "Oh, you've lived long enough." Don't hand wave me away.
Don't wave him away, Kissel. Kissel, how long do you want to live?
33 and I'm 35. I am done. I am 2 years past due. I wanted to die at the age of Chris Farley, and maybe I'll die at the age of John Candy now. Who knows? I'm done with the whole thing. I'm over it. Who wants old people all around? This is the most dystopian.
Other old people.
But yeah, hello. I'm 50. I'm the oldest person on this panel, and I'm still a sprightly young 50-ish person.
Well, congratulations,
Mike. 100.
Well, you know what? I don't want to hang out with you, though.
You're going to be feeding me Jell-O.
It is so dystopian. Everyone's old. We just made fun of the kid for tucking his tie into his pants. Everyone will just be doing that because their pants will be so pulled up they could tuck a bow tie into the dang thing.
Listen.
I want the youth to be here, and let's just, you know.
Wow.
I'm an atheist. When you're dead, you're dead. There's nothing but an eternity of darkness ahead of you. And as long as I can be around to perhaps listen to a little Bach, maybe a little Irving Berlin, if I'm in some state where I can appreciate some of the joy of life, I will hang on to it for as long as I can.
Well, that's true. Maybe I'm talking about old people in New York, one which caused me to be late today because he just could not get up the steps, and I know I'm supposed to be sympathetic.
You're an ageist.
Get out of the way.
You're big enough to knock him over. If I do it, you should be able to do
laws
it.
that stop me from doing that. You're very lucky there are, Michael.
But that guy's having the time of his life. Who cares? He doesn't care if he's late.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
And
Oh,
that's-
the anxiety
he's on God's
goes
time
on.
now.
Right,
He
it's
doesn't care.
beautiful.
Old people like being old people, don't they? Do you ever hang out with them?
Yes. Oh, I love hanging out with old people. It's amazing.
They have no
It's great.
responsibilities.
They have no responsibility.
But a breath. That's all
my
they
God.
have to
You
worry
hear a
about
lot
is
about
taking the next
prunes.
breath.
A lot about prunes. I feel like they bring that up often. Like their bowel movements come up right away. You're like, oh, I didn't need to know that.
Well, they're
Thank
just so
you
proud
for
of
sharing.
themselves.
And they're
by the way-
proud. They're proud.
And by the way, may I say, when this Emanuel character who says, oh, they should die at 75, let's check in with him when he's 74 and see if he still wants to be dead in 9
I
months.
think I said that when we talked about this article last time. I said he's gonna change his mind.
Exactly.
You get to 75 and you think, you know what? I wouldn't mind hitting 81.
Yeah, 81, let's extend it a little bit, just a little bit more.
But I think that we are in for this. If we go to a kind of government system like they want to, they're going to have to start deciding, right? They
this is the
decided
only-
what the ripe old age is.
And this is the first government program that's going to work as planned. Watch.
It's so efficient. You're right.
Why do people want to live so long? Tom,
as usual, didn't understand a word of your monologue. So this guy, Paul Wolpe, he says, quote, "The quest to live forever or to live for great expanses of time has always been part of the human spirit." And he says, and you even quoted him as saying, humans are meaning-laden beings.
Yeah.
And then you say, he, quote, thinks of people as a unit of measurement simply as bodies that consume government resources.
Yeah.
He literally said the opposite. He's agreeing with you.
Well, he didn't agree with me. If you watch his videos, when he, his bioethicist videos, he does agree with Emanuel that we have to, when he talks about, end of life issues.
Okay. All doctors agree that we have to talk about end of life issues.
Yeah, I know. They're not cool.
Okay. All right. Malice, you said talk about a slippery slope, deciding how long people should live until. But Emanuel literally said he's not telling anyone they should do the same thing. He's saying this is his choice, and he is completely opposed to euthanasia and assisted suicide.
Sorry.
It's not.
No.
He's written books. He's written anti-euthanasia books.
Fine. My point is, once you put something into the popular discussion, like normalizing pedophilia, which National Review tried to do, that's when the slippery slope happens. So someone has to introduce a subject.
National Review tried to do?
Yes, they do. Charles Cook wrote a piece about we have to think about not as a crime, but as. I'm sorry, I'm being correct.
That's not what he did.
My point is, someone has to put it out there, and then someone else takes that ball and runs with it. That's the process.
But all he was saying is, that living long with a failing body and mind is maybe not so great.
No, he was saying that 75 is a good number to start talking about.
That's okay. That's not at all what he was saying. But I've been told I have to go.
Thank you, Andy.
Okay.
Coming up, I give you the 411 on the latest tech that teens are using to stay connected. And my latest video at Prager University has been watched more than 1 million times. It's called Don't Compare Yourself to Others. Watch it at PragerU.com.